Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, Mataji, how are you doing these days?
Yeah, good Prabhuji. Going on Prabhuji.
Did you all receive a message from Srisha Mataji about Saturday?
Yes, Prabhuji. Actually, the classes, like you proposed that classes will be there on Saturday instead of Sunday.
Same time.
Then yeah, Prabhuji.
Will that be okay?
Yeah, it will be fine, Prabhuji. It's all fine.
And what about your chanting?
Chanting is going on, Prabhuji. Actually, I tried to push it to 12 rounds. Again, I'm back at 8 only. Like, it's continuing. And also, I'm attending Damodar Diya. Actually, they're conducting a Damodar Diya program from 6 to 6:30 evening every day. So I'm attending that also, Prabhuji, every day almost.
Attending what? Damodar?
Damodar Diya offering.
Okay.
So, like, yeah, there are some people who are gathering in Zoom and they're offering Diya with Damodar Ashtakam every day. So I'm also a part of that Prabhuji every day. All this Kartik Mas.
In Bangalore, they are doing this festivity?
Yes, Prabhuji.
And Amol Prabhu, how are you doing? Hare Krishna. Shilada Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Mataji. Are you all okay for Saturday?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay, thank you.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam. Jai Shila Prabhupada.
Jai Shri Prabhupada.
You're doing well, Mataji? Deepika Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay, how is Jagannath these days?
Yeah, they're great, Prabhuji.
Yeah, wonderful. Are you engaged in their service?
Sorry, Prabhuji.
Are you happily engaged in their services?
Yes, Prabhuji.
I heard the altar you all made by yourself. That's amazing.
Yes, Prabhuji. My Prabhu and my kids, they made it through the summer.
Wow, it was very beautiful. And Mataji, Saturday you are okay?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay.
I'm okay.
And Chandan Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat
Pranam. So we are waiting for you still.
Yeah.
Okay. And Prabhu, you are okay for Saturday?
This Saturday?
No, I mean
coming
we are
Saturday, right?
planning
Yes.
to move the program to Saturdays.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yatin Prabhu, you are also okay for Saturday?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
There is one more iPhone. May I know the name? Hare Krishna. Okay, no problem. Okay.
I think that's my number, I guess. I will change.
You joined twice. Okay.
I don't know twice why he's showing, but only one through one mobile I joined. Maybe someone else also having iPhone.
No problem. Okay, so I guess we will get started. Om Agyantimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajata Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Harijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Pada Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitam Cha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasadi Gaur Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukham Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayate Girim Yatkripatamaham Bande Shri Gurun Dinatarinam Paramanandamadhavam Shri Chaitanyeshwaram Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Tinamine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhaktarupa Swarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam. Okay. So now we are beginning the first chapter. Let's see how far we can go today. So this is the last thing that we discussed. Hare Krishna. Yeah, Sean Prabhu, come in. Krishna consciousness automatically puts one in transcendental pleasure. This is the last slide we discussed last week. Okay. My dear wife, persons who has surrendered himself at the lotus feet of Govinda and who has thus developed pure Krishna consciousness can be very easily awarded all the perfections desired by the impersonalists. And beyond this, he can enjoy the happiness achieved by the pure devotees. A happiness derived from pure devotional service is the highest because it is eternal. The happiness derived from material perfection or understanding oneself to be Brahman is inferior because it is temporary. After comparing mystic yogic siddhis to materialistic perfections, we find that the materialistic scientists try for the same perfections. So actually there is no difference between mystic perfection and materialistic perfection. That just shows how the pleasure derived from Krishna consciousness is on the highest platform. So we covered all these points in detail last week. Now we begin from here. Foolishly, people who are enamored by the modern materialistic advancement thinks that the Krishna consciousness movement is for less intelligent men. So this is how foolish person thinks. And Krishna also says in Bhagavad Gita in the chapter Divine and Demoniac. So how they think is, oh, we have this and we have this and we are this and we are this. And they are very much attached to their position, to their fame, to their wealth. They are very much attached, and they think that those who are taking up Krishna consciousness spiritual life, they are less intelligent people. They have nothing else to do. That's why they are practicing this bhakti yoga. And see, we are becoming so advanced in materialistic science. So that's how foolishly people thinks. I am better off being busy with my material comforts, maintaining a nice apartment, family, and sex life. So these people, they are basically very puffed up, very proud. It is also said, and especially if somebody is rich, it becomes very difficult for them to take up Krishna consciousness. Kunti Devi says in Srimad Bhagavatam, Janmaishwarya Shruti Shrivi Edamana Madhapupa Adi Avidhatur Vai Tomakinchana Gochara. He says to Lord Krishna, when Krishna was leaving for Dwarka, when Kunti Devi was feeling a lot of separation because Krishna was in Hastinapur with Pandavas. Mahabharata war was over. Now it was time for him to go back to Dwarka, and Yadus, Krishna's queens like Rukmini and Satyabhama and others were waiting for Krishna. So she offered various prayers. They are very beautiful prayers by Queen Kunti. They come in the 8th chapter of first canto Srimad Bhagavatam, and Srila Prabhupada also took another book, and he for each prayer he made a chapter and he described in detail in this book, Prayers by Queen Kunti. Many devotees love this particular book. So one of the prayers she says is Jan Maishwara Shruti Shri, those who have high birth, Aishwarya, those who have some kind of opulences, either a good home or a good salary, a good job, a good position. So Aishwarya. Then Shruti is those who are very knowledgeable in Shastras. And Shri is those who are very beautiful. They have a tendency to become proud. Yesterday I was talking to one person. He's a devotee. His father is a scholar in Vedic scriptures. And whatever this devotee, he tells his father quotes verses after verses. So this devotee was telling that my father knows so many verses. He knows Bhagavad Gita, he knows everything, but he doesn't have bhakti. He is just like a parrot, he speaks. And he was telling that whenever he speaks, nobody wants to listen to him. Even his own wife and family members and outsiders, nobody want to listen because he tries to quote Sanskrit and he tries to show off what all he knows and he doesn't practice. And then recently this devotee went to India and he gave the chanting of the holy names and reading of Bhagavad Gita by Srila Prabhupada. So this father, he was telling that I have been doing this for 40 years, but now I'm realizing that I never practiced devotion. I was just repeating like a parrot. So I said, Prabhu, you did a great service. So it becomes very difficult for those who have a lot of knowledge, for those who are very beautiful. Those who are very beautiful, they go in a loop of impressing others with their beauties. And they get a lot of attention. So they start feeling that I'm a very important person. And that makes them that they're unable to feelingly take shelter of Krishna. And naturally one is wealth. So these people who are very wealthy, or one devotee was mentioning recently that there is a family, they are both doctors and very well to do, and he said that they deal with whatever materialistic opulences they deal with. But he was mentioning that very proud and very difficult for them, like one devotee said, big position, big egos. So it becomes very difficult for them to surrender, very difficult for them to bow down to God, bow down to Krishna, to dedicate their life in a mode of humble servant of servant, because it's so much ego and so much pride. So these people, that's why they are described in Srimad Bhagavatam as foolish people. But we see that intelligent people, despite all these opulences, pure devotees of Krishna, and they are like way more opulent. Like we have our Ambarish Maharaj, king of Bharatvarsha. We have Prahlad Maharaj, he was also the king. Dhruv Maharaj was the son of the king. And there are many, um, um, all different kind of personalities in Srimad Bhagavatam. They have all kind of opulences, but they surrender to Krishna. So these things are not uh, obstruction. Wealth, position, beauty, knowledge, they are not obstruction, but then they have a tendency to make us proud. And once we become proud, we cannot humble ourselves and take shelter of Krishna. And we see like our Goswamis, Raghunath Das Goswami, Rupa Goswami, Sanatan Goswami, finance minister and prime ministers, and they would play in millions of gold coins 500 years back. And it is said, Tattva Deham, Tattva Turnam, Ashesha Mandalapati, Shrenim Sada Tuchava. Dhira Dhira Jana Priyo Priyo Karo, Nirmatsaro Pujito, Vande Rupa Sanatana Raghuyugo, Shri Jiva Gopalako. Great finance minister, prime minister, and son of these Jamindars who deal with millions of gold coins. Dr. Turnam Ashesha Mandalapati. Mandalapati means filthy rich. Shrenim Shada Tuchavat. They considered all their material opulences as tucha, and they humbly and meanly wanted to serve Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That's why they are called Goswamis, because complete control over their senses. And they understood that ultimately whatever anything we have is based on our good karma, and once good karma is over, everything is taken away, and based on our activities in this life, we will be pushed down anyways. Nature of this material world is there will always be sometime heavenly planet, sometime hellish planet, and different people are on different position this point of time, just a snapshot and very temporary. Very everything here is very temporary. But the reality is that the soul is part and parcel of Krishna. So these foolish person, they think that I am better off being busy with my material comforts, maintaining a nice apartment, family, and sex life. So they think, what is the need for Krishna consciousness? These people do not know that any moment they can be kicked out of their material situation. So many people, I know one, I don't know personally, but I heard big doctor, surgeon, very accomplished. He would play in millions. Something happened. He developed some disease and his hand became shaking. So he performed 2-3 surgeries, but because his hand was shaking continuously, for surgery, you need to be very precise because you are dealing with at micro level. So because of his hand developed some kind of shaking thing, 2-3 patients were killed. He was sued. He lost everything and he was put behind the jail. How permanent is the fame and the position and the wealth? How permanent it is? If not, while we are living, death will take everything away from us anyways. So these people do not know that any moment they can be kicked out of their material situation. Due to ignorance, they do not know that real life is eternal. Shrimad Bhagavatam asks us two questions. How much can you enjoy and how long can you enjoy? Big position, and when people become old, when disease comes, suffering comes, what can you do? America is filled with these examples. So due to ignorance, they do not know that real life is eternal. The temporary comforts of the body are not the goal of life. And it is due only to darkest ignorance that people become attracted by material comfort, because one have to identify with the body and one has to become illusioned, because only when we are under illusion do we think that we can derive pleasure in this world. But the fact is, without Krishna, life is full of anxiety. No matter what we do, there is only anxiety in this world. So now the next characteristic of pure devotional service is Krishna consciousness surpasses all other happiness. This is prayers by Prahlad Maharaj. My dear Lord, I repeatedly pray onto your lotus feet. Prahlad Maharaj, Lord Nrsimhadev. I repeatedly pray onto your lotus feet that I may simply be stronger in devotional service. It's very important for us to be strong in devotional service, because if we are weak, then we will give in to the illusory energy. We will give in to the advertisements of material energy. So we have to remain stronger. And in this material world, to remain strong and determined is very, very difficult actually. That's why what can protect us is prayerful mode. Srila Prabhupada said, Maya cannot attack me because I'm constantly praying to Krishna to protect me from Maya. So this way helps is praying to Krishna. And also when we realize that I'm not very strong in my Krishna consciousness, then first thing we should do is we should not become proud and should take a humble position and should consider ourselves that I'm a fallen soul. I don't deserve Krishna's mercy because I am a conditioned soul, I am a fallen soul. I am a very attached person. And then also one should use one's intelligence to see how not to give into material energy. Because I'm a weak person, what can I do so that I don't expose myself to the environment where I become weak? We all know our weaknesses. So we should not we should not be proud, and we should know that if I am exposed to a weak circumstances, I will give in to those circumstances and I will fall down. So how can I avoid becoming victimized by an unfavorable environment? So one should use one intelligence, whatever it takes. Rupa Goswami says, whatever it takes to make progress, do it. Whatever is favorable for your Krishna consciousness, do it. Whatever is unfavorable for your Krishna consciousness, reject it. And whatever is unfavorable is different for different people. For different people, different things are unfavorable. But for suppose for somebody, a particular situation may not be unfavorable and he's okay with that. For another person, same situation may be very unfavorable. So we all have to see for ourselves, what is my weak area, where I give into material energy, where I become weak, and then how can I avoid being exposed to this unfavorable circumstances. So Prahlad Maharaj is praying, I simply pray onto your lotus feet that I may simply be stronger in my devotional service. And different people, some people give into television, some people give into, these kind of um, you know, comedy shows or comedy videos. Different people have different loopholes, and they try to derive their enjoyment from something other than Krishna consciousness. So I pray to your lotus feet that I may simply be stronger in my devotional service. I simply pray that my Krishna consciousness may be more strong and steady, because happiness derived out of Krishna consciousness and devotional service is so powerful that with it one can have all other perfections of religiousness, economic development, sense gratification, and even the attainment of liberation from material existence. Devotional service is all powerful. Anyone who becomes practiced in Krishna consciousness, happiness derived from that is very powerful, and it overcomes all kind of perfections. In the Narada Pancharatra, it is also said that any person who has developed even a small amount of devotional service doesn't care a fig for any kind of happiness derived from religiousness, economic development, self gratification, or the five kinds of liberation. So people derive some pleasure by great wealth, great earning, great economic situation. People derive pleasure from sense gratification. It can be any of the five working senses or knowledge acquiring senses: eyes, tongue, sense of touch, nose, smell, or various other working senses like hands, legs, anus, genitals, and what is the fifth one? Uh, Mouth. So people can derive various sense gratification from various sense organs, knowledge acquiring senses or working senses. But it is described here in Narada Pancharatra that who has developed even a small amount of devotional service. Once one start deriving pleasure from devotional service, he does not care even a fig about the happiness derived from economic development, sense gratification, mundane religiosity, and liberation. He doesn't care about it because he's so absorbed in his devotional service to Krishna, by hearing about Krishna, by chanting Krishna's name. But unfortunately, the right mode is what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu showed us in his Siksha, Chaitanya Siksha Amrita. He says, Nam Namakari Bahuda Nija Sharva Shakti Tatrar Pitani Amita Smarane Nakalaha Eta Dishi Tava Kripa Bhagavan Mamapi Durdaiva Mindrishamiha Jani Nanuragaha. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Durdaiva Mindrisham Iha Jananuraga. My Lord, the mood of a devotee is, my Lord, a person who has developed a fig of Krishna consciousness, a small fraction of Krishna consciousness, he doesn't care at all about self gratification, economic development, religiosity, and liberation. But I am so unfortunate that I have absolutely no attraction towards your holy name. I have absolutely no attachment to you. I have absolutely no devotional attitude or devotional service. And because I'm completely empty and I have nothing, I'm so much attached to sense gratification, so much attached to um, wealth and economic development and position and fame, and I'm so much attached to becoming liberated and from mundane practicing mundane religiosity principles. I'm so much attached to everything. So it's better to be humble than to be advanced, because the symptom of advanced devotee is that he is humble. That's a simple symptom of advanced devotee. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu showed by his own example that Durdevam Idrisham Yaha Jani Nanuragaha. I am so unfortunate that the holy name is a name of Krishna, and everything about Krishna is so divine. Krishna's pastimes, Krishna's form, Krishna's name, Krishna's qualities. Everything about him and Vrindavan is so divine. But I'm so unfortunate, I have no attraction for anything. And I have attraction for sense gratification, economic development. And this is actually our real position. And when we actually identify our real position, then comes the next verse. Trinadapi suni chena taroriva sahishnuna amanina manadena kirtaniya sadahari. When we understand that I'm so fallen that I have no attraction towards the Lord, then we should remain in a humble state of mind. Why? What is there to be proud of? What should I be proud of? Should I be proud of, see how much desire I have for sense gratification, economic development? This is what I should be proud of. What do we have to be proud of? So then one should take a humble position and one should practice tolerance. Why we need to practice tolerance? Prabhupada also says tolerance means forgiveness. When somebody doesn't like us, criticize us, or misbehave with us, then we should practice tolerance and forgiveness. Why? Because I mean, a devotee, the one who is a true devotee, when he faces some criticism, he thinks that is correct. He takes it on himself. But another aspect is like what my spiritual master says. Another aspect is, if somebody criticizes us, then he says, see if there is any truth in the criticism. Somebody is criticizing, see, is there any truth? Yes, I have some problems. My life is a problem. My existence is a problem. I am a problem. Then we should try to rectify and change ourselves. But if somebody says something and which is not actually true, not egoistic false, not like it's not true because my ego is telling that I am right, but genuinely when we see that, okay, whatever the criticism is not actually truth, then we should accept the criticism as part of our purification. Krishna has arranged the situation for me to become purified. Because ultimately, purification does not come in a nice, rosy environment. Purification comes from hard times only. So one should be able to see that. So a devotee who has devotional service doesn't care even a fig for any kind of happiness derived from religiousness, economic development, sense gratification, or 5 kinds of liberation. Any kind of happiness derived from religiousness, economic development, liberation, sense gratification cannot even dare to enter into the heart of a pure devotee. A pure devotee has absolutely no desire for economic development and sense gratification. His only desire is to please Krishna and to serve Krishna. And he is only satisfied in his Krishna consciousness. But I mean, for us at this stage, Durdaiva is, my Lord, I'm so unfortunate. I have no attraction for them. It is stated that as the personal attendants and maid servants of queen follow the queen with all respect and obeisances, similarly the joys of religiousness, economic development, sense gratification, and liberation follow the devotional service of the Lord. Just like the servants, they always do whatever queen says. Likewise, the queen is devotional service. And whatever economic development, sense gratification, whatever pleasure we can derive from those things will automatically follow you if you practice devotional service. Because if you're practicing devotional service, Krishna will take care of you. Krishna will not let you go through difficult times until Krishna sees that this difficult time is very favorable for you, then he will introduce it. Otherwise, Krishna will give you everything. Krishna will give you the pleasure derived from wealth, the pleasure derived from sense gratification. Krishna will give you everything, but then you're not attached. You are attached only to Krishna. Like, see, these kings, how much wealth they have. Ambarish Maharaj, Dhruv Maharaj, how much fame they have, how much sense gratification opportunities they have. But they are not attached to those things, and they're attached to Krishna. Even our spiritual masters and pure devotees. Think, if you're aspiring, think of your spiritual master and think how much fame they have, how much wealth they have. One devotee said, the wealthiest person on the planet are the sannyasis. Why? Millions of dollars of project they are running. How much wealth they have, how much fame they have. They look at somebody and people throughout their life, they only remember, oh, this personality looked at me. And that's their happiness. Once they say Hare Krishna, they fly and travel all over the place to hear for 1 hour from these great personalities. They smile at us and we remember for the rest of the life, oh, Maharaj smiled at me. How much fame they have, how much wealth they have, how much opportunities they have for sense gratification. Think about it. Everywhere, so much affection. Everywhere they go. Everywhere they go, the uh, the prasadam they are served is the best quality. Half of the time they live on the flights anyways. How much opportunity for sense gratification, opportunities for how much wealth, fame, what they do not have, but they are attached only to Krishna. So it is described that the happiness derived from Krishna consciousness is so intense that one is not attached to serving those serving for economic development and sense gratification. Those who are running after these things, they are miserable. They are not happy, they are miserable. One devotee was mentioning, he was talking to somebody and he had great desires. He got a great house, vehicle, whatever he wanted, um, great prospects at the job. He got everything, and this devotee asked him, "So now you have your own home. Now you are a manager. They have 50 people working under you. Now you have this much fame. Now you have everything, all opportunity of sense gratification you have. Are you happy? Are you happy in your house?" This person doesn't have an answer. He said, "Yeah, that's why I come to Hare Krishna program. So you will find happiness in devotional service." So it is said that these things, pure devotees, these things, happiness there from these things cannot even dare to enter into the heart of a pure devotee. It is stated that as the personal attendants and maid servants of a queen, uh, likewise the happiness derived from these things will follow devotional service. Actually, once we actually start practicing devotional service now, everything is so nice. I can tell you one experience. Even the quality of prasadam we cook, the taste that comes out is also dependent upon our consciousness. Our consciousness is Krishna consciousness. Anything you cook will come out excellent taste. And when our consciousness is lacking Krishna consciousness, when we are not doing well in our consciousness, even if you cook anything with the deepest details, you will lack the satisfaction. Satisfaction comes from our state of consciousness, because based on our bhav, based on our consciousness, Krishna accepts. Bhavagai Janardana. Hare Krishna. Can you open the door? Yeah. So I was telling about the taste in the food. Krishna eats the bhav with which the bhoga is offered. And how satisfying the food is depends upon how much Krishna enjoys it. And I'm sure you all have experienced. If not, you will experience it for yourself. Everything becomes very attractive when our bhav is attractive, when our consciousness is attractive. Anything you do is very attractive. When you sing, it's very attractive. When you chant, is very attractive. Whatever you cook is very attractive. Whatever you speak is very attractive. Whatever you hear is very attractive. Whatever you read is very attractive. Whatever service you render is very attractive. Whatever devotees you interact is very attractive. Everything is very attractive. Everything is dependent upon our bhav. That's why these pure devotees, they have that mood, they have that surrender, they have that devotion. So they are all attractive. Because Krishna is all attractive. Anybody who could connect with Krishna becomes all attractive. And we all must have experienced when our bhav is not good, our consciousness is not good because of offenses or because of whatever reasons. When our bhav is not good, anything we do is not at all satisfying to anyone. Kirtans are not effective. Reading, no interest. Hearing, no interest. Lust and anger becomes very prominent. Nobody wants to speak to us. When they speak to us, also they're not pleased. Whatever we cook lacks satisfaction. You may have the taste, but not the satisfaction. Lack satisfaction. Anything we do is very unattractive, repulsive. That's why people who have developed some kind of devotion or bhav, and also for us in our stage, they are not continuous also. Someday we feel good and someday we don't feel good. And when we don't feel good, we will experience all these negative emotions. When we feel good, We don't want to criticize. We don't want to hear anyone's criticism. We want to act like pure devotees. We become very protective of our sadhana. When we are not good, prajalpa tastes like nectar. Criticism, everything, it becomes so attractive. Want to do everything. That's why all the problem comes because we lack bhav. And the solution to all the problem, Krishna consciousness. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur would say there is only one problem, and that is lack of Krishna consciousness. Sometimes devotees ask, Prabhuji, can we give you a sweater? Can we give you a jacket? Do you need something? I always tell them, Krishna has given me everything. The only thing that I'm lacking is Krishna consciousness. Krishna consciousness is lacking. Everything else Krishna provides. Krishna provides the food, Krishna provides shelter, Krishna provides place to stay, Krishna provides vehicle to travel, Krishna provides whatever we need, Krishna provides. Medical help, Krishna provides everything. One thing which is very difficult to get is pure devotional service. That bhav for Krishna, that devotion, that Krishna does not give easily. Everything else Krishna will give you. But we should not be satisfied by anything. Because if we get that bhav, if we get the devotion, everything else will follow. It is stated that as the personal attendant and maid servant of the queen follow the queen. Yeah, this we read. In other words, a pure devotee does not lack any kind of happiness derived from any source. A pure devotee does not lack any kind of happiness derived from any source. He does not lack any kind of happiness derived from any source. Then somebody may say, no, then what about the happiness from illicit sex, from gambling, from intoxication? No, that's not happiness, that's misery. That's not happiness. For that, we have to be influenced by the mode of ignorance to enjoy. That's not happiness. But a pure devotee does not lack any kind of happiness derived from any source. It is said that material pleasure is like absence of misery. Because we are miserable because of lacking certain needs, and when we satisfy those demands of the senses, there's just absence of misery because those demands are satisfied. That's not happiness. He does not want anything but service to Krishna. But even if he should have another desire, the Lord fulfills this without the devotees asking. So here Prabhupada is telling that even if a devotee has any external desire, generally he doesn't want anything other than service to Krishna. But if at all he has any desire, without even asking, the Lord fulfills that desire for a pure devotee. So Krishna consciousness surpasses all other happiness. Okay. Now we come to the rareness of pure devotional service. Why is pure devotional service so rare? How many people do we find walking in a street who have pure devotional service? Compare how rare is economic development. Economic development, sense gratification, Prabhupada says even dogs and hogs, they also have their own kind of sense gratification. Millions of people walking on the earth and they have all these things and everybody is running towards these things, but how many people have pure devotional service? We can see and how many people are striving and working so hard for years and for decades. They are struggling, they are chanting so many extra rounds, reading, continuously serving 24 hours a day. They are trying it so hard. How many people have attended pure devotional service? One brahmachari practicing for 30 years, he was telling, you cannot get pure devotional service just by laughing and enjoying and practicing little Krishna consciousness here and there. Pure devotional service is very, very rare. And he said, I'm practicing for 30 years. Day and night, I'm serving in a temple, outside, teaching activities, sleeping very less, chanting so many extra rounds, doing so many things that I haven't attained even a glimpse of pure devotional service. He said, from my own example, I can say that how rare is to attend pure devotional service. And why is pure devotional service so rare? Because one lecture I heard an example. Pure devotional service means you purchase Krishna. When we have pure devotional service, we will see that those who have pure devotional service, whatever they want, whatever they desire, Krishna is bound to fulfill all of their desires. Um, Suppose you go out, you're going out and you see a beggar, and the beggar says, please give me $10. You will give $10, no problem. But you will see so many people and you will help. Somebody is asking medicine, you will give. Somebody wants some kind of sense gratification, you may give some prasad, or you may help them in whatever needs they may have. But you will not bring the beggar in your home and make your family member. So likewise, when we ask Krishna, give me some wealth, Krishna will say, take it. And you ask Krishna, give me some sense gratification, Krishna will say, take it. But if you ask Krishna, take me to your home, take me back to Vrindavan and let me be with you, then Krishna will be very careful, because to bring somebody in our inner circle, we are very, very careful. We don't want to bring anyone and everyone in an inner circle, because if we bring, then um, um, we want to make sure they gel nicely with us, or like they don't disrupt the existing system or the environment. Rather, they are conducive, they are favorable. Likewise, Krishna does not bring anyone and everyone back to Goloka Vrindavan. Krishna does not want anyone and everyone to interact with Madhu Mangal, Subal, Srimati Radharani, Madhu Yashodananda, because we go and then we create trouble for all of them. So Krishna doesn't want anyone. This is Krishna's family, intimate family. All that exists is pure devotees' love for Krishna and Krishna love for pure devotees. Krishna doesn't want any disturbance there. So to bring us back to him, that requires completely pure heart, pure love for Krishna, absolute humility, tolerance, all good qualities, pure devotion. So unless we are exhibiting everything that is required to go back to God, and Krishna will not let us in. But you tell him, Krishna, $10, take 20. Krishna say, I'm chanting your rounds, give me a job, take it, give me a visa ticket. This Krishna doesn't care at all, because anyways everything is material and in this temporary world. Who cares? Krishna is infinite. Uh, so Krishna will give you economic development, sense gratification, everything. But Krishna will not give you pure devotional service, because pure devotional service means you become controller of Krishna. Whatever you want, Krishna is bound to fulfill. Krishna says, whatever my devotee says has to happen. Kaunte prati jana naam bhakta pranashyate. Krishna says, Arjuna, you declared boldly that my devotee will never perish. Why Krishna is asking Arjuna, you declare? Why Krishna doesn't say, my devotee doesn't perish? He tells Arjuna, you declare my devotee doesn't perish, because whatever a devotee says happens. A devotee, Prabhupada says, why do you want to become God? You try to become father and mother of God, you try to become lover of God, and you become higher than God, because God will do whatever you say. So pure devotional service is the most rare thing, the rareness of pure devotional service. How about philosophical speculation and ritualistic sacrifices? Lord Shiva says to Sati, my dear Sati, if one is a very fine philosopher, analyzing the different processes of knowledge, he can achieve liberation from a material entanglement by performance of ritualistic sacrifices recommended in the Vedas. One can be elevated to the platform of pious activities and thereby enjoy the material comforts of life to the fullest extent. But all such endeavors can hardly offer anyone devotional service to the Lord, not even if one tries for it by such processes for many, many thousands of births. So Lord Shiva tells Parvati, by reading, understanding, and by knowledge, you may become free from material desires. By performing various sacrifices mentioned in the Vedas, you may go to heavenly planets and have heavenly pleasure, or you may fulfill all your material desires in this world. So you can get liberation from sense gratification, or you may get as much sense gratification as you want, but not pure devotional service. Even if you try these things for millions of thousands of births, pure devotional service is very rare. Lord easily offers liberation, but he rarely agrees to offer a soul devotional service, because by devotional service, the Lord himself becomes purchased by the devotee. Lord becomes purchased by the devotee. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, there was one devotee called Vasudev Datta. Vasudev Datta was, um, his he is an associate of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He asked Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, "My Lord, I have only one desire," and he said, "My desire is that people are suffering because of their karma. Let all the karma of all over the universe come to me and let me suffer because of their bad karma. But please give them devotional service and please take them back home, back to God. But whatever disqualifies them, transfer all that disqualification to me and let me go through the anxiety and trouble. But take them back home, back to God and with you." And this is pure devotion. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told Vasudeva Datta that Vasudeva Datta, I am sold out to you. You can sell me wherever you want. I am your property, Vasudeva. So those who, why? Because Mahaprabhu was very pleased. And Mahaprabhu, it is described, Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami says, Mahaprabhu was sitting in the heart of Vasudeva Datta, and he know that Vasudeva Datta is not saying something for the sake of saying, but he was actually feeling that compassion, actually feeling the suffering of all living entities. And he actually was a well-wisher of all living entities, and he actually wanted everybody to be happy in Krishna consciousness because he had that pure motive and pure desire. And he was selfless. He was not concerned about himself, but wanted to offer himself to others. He wanted to offer all good fortune to others. Mahaprabhu was very pleased. Okay, so can we attain pure devotional service by ourselves? Let us see if any devotees have any discussion at this point of time. Or any questions. Okay. So, yeah, Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, there is some point of time we are able to get good satsang and able to perform devotional service such that we could feel little bit of satisfaction or a satisfaction in the heart. But uh, because of the time, place and circumstance, it is not always, it is not continuous. So whatever we do at home personally as a service looks like it is passive. To take to the next step or to grow or progress even more, what could be done, Prabhuji?
Mataji, your question is over. I could not understand your question though, but I heard
Okay.
you.
Okay, what I was asking is to progress, like when we don't have enough satsang or association, the sadhana which we do personally at home, we could not feel the contentment. So what can be done about this, Prabhuji, to progress in devotional service and to have little bit contentment in the heart? But now that there is a stage, I could not give up the, it is not feeling bored or something, but seriously want to take to the next step, but finding it hard to find a satsang like we had previously. So what can be done about this?
Well, Mataji, my answer will be have patience. Try your best to the best of your ability to remain Krishna conscious. Try to read. If you have finished Bhagavad Gita, try to absorb in Bhagavatam. Try to hear and take association in the form of hearing through different devotees. Try to be sincere in your chanting, especially if you can do your chanting in the morning times. If not, whenever you chant, try to be sincere. Try to be careful in your dealing with whoever you are dealing with. And then if in spite of attempting from your side, if you're not feeling contentment, as you mentioned, remember that I am putting my endeavor, I'm trying my best. Yes, right now I'm not feeling anything. Life is very difficult for me. Um, um, it's not satisfying to practice Krishna consciousness. I really want to become absorbed, but I'm unable to absorb. But what can I do? I'm trying, and over a period of time, when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Lord Nityananda, when spiritual master are pleased, they will give. That's why Rupa Goswami says patience is very important in one's practices. Another thing is also that Rupa Goswami says is enthusiasm is also very important, and confidence is also very important. These three things are very important. Confidence, Rupa Goswami says, is if I try, Lord Krishna will certainly help me. This confidence we should have. Okay, I'm finding it very difficult. I'm trying to do it for the pleasure of Krishna. I don't know what else I can do. But Lord Krishna will certainly help me, maybe in due course of time, and I'll be patiently wait for Lord Krishna's mercy to descend. Till that time, I will keep trying my best. Another thing Rupa Goswami says is, if we don't feel enthusiastic, then we act enthusiastically. We don't feel like doing devotional service for any reasons, then we act enthusiastically and we try our best. So our endeavor, and we also see this Damodar month, and we also see from Damodar month, Mother Yashoda was endeavoring. She was getting tired, exhausted, hopeless. And when Krishna saw that she's trying so much to attain me, to bind me, um, um, okay, let me allow. And Mother Yashoda could bind Krishna without any extra effort. Likewise, today only I was listening a question answer discussion with His Holiness Shivram Swami Maharaj. And one devotee asked, how can we attain Vrindavan? Is it based on our endeavor or is it based on Krishna's mercy? And he said both. To go to Vrindavan, to go back to Godhead, our endeavor is important. Our endeavor to hear about Krishna, read about Krishna, chant Krishna's name, our endeavor is important. But ultimately we can go only by Krishna's mercy. But Krishna's mercy follows our endeavor. So just be sincere from your side and patiently wait for uh, for for mercy to descend to you. Is it all right?
Yes, Prabhuji. Sure. Thank you so much.
Anybody else has any other question? Otherwise, I think we are ready to end here. I thought already we spoke a lot. So good. Anything else?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Dandavana
Prabhuji, I just had one question.
Okay.
So it's while doing performing any kind of devotional service, so sometimes we may feel little more competition, not competition, but jealousy about they are getting a chance to do the devotional, they're getting the chance to do that kind of service, but not we. So is that uh, a positive or a negative way? I just want to make sure.
Well, depends, Mataji. For example, what aspect of their service am I attracted to? What aspect? Is it the aspect that I'm attracted to? Is that aspect material or is that aspect spiritual? Thing like, I'm just giving example and then we can relate to our situation. Oh, this person is offering arati. How fortunate is this person? Directly to What is the name of Radha Krishna deities in your temple, Mataji?
We have Krishna Balram, Prabhuji.
Krishna Balaram. Okay.
Yeah.
This person is offering Aarti to Krishna Balaram. I am so unfortunate I am not able to do Aarti. Now, it's a positive aspect. When will I get a chance to do Aarti to Krishna Balaram? When will I get a chance to cook for Krishna and Balaram? When I get a chance to dress Krishna and Balaram? Very good. Another example can be, oh, this person is acting in this leading role. This person, when will I be in that role? Then we can go a little more deeper and say, okay, why am I attracted to this role? Is it because of something material, or is it because I get a chance to serve so many Vaishnavas together and I will get so much mercy from the Vaishnavas? If the intent is spiritual, then we are well situated. If the intent is material, then we rectify ourselves. And another thing, and if the intent is spiritual, say we really want to serve a lot of Vaishnavas, we are unable to. And if everything is spiritual, then for that aspect, Prabhupada said, because they have been rendering so much service to Lord Krishna, Krishna has given them this service. And if I am also sincere, and if I also continue to render devotional service to me, then Krishna will give me also. Prabhupada said, no need to compete, because they serve Krishna and Krishna is giving them more and more opportunity to render service. If you serve Krishna, Krishna will give you also more and more opportunity to devotional service. Krishna is neutral. And we see hand of Krishna in a way that whatever anyone is doing is Krishna is sanctioning for some reason. So let me remain sincere also. And then Krishna will give. Another thing I heard from on this perspective is, if those who are doing great devotional service, if you glorify them, just glorify them, Krishna will give you that devotional service also. Just glorify them, and if you assist them, Krishna is very, very pleased. Just for example, I'll tell you one example. Two good friends. One person, I mean, they both are working. It's a material example, but it's true spiritually also. Two friends, they both have been in their kind of professional career many years together, and suddenly there was an opening for a manager. The manager left, so there were all employees working under manager, and one of them, they both applied. They both were like, okay, let's try, and they both were joyful. We will see, we are friends anyways. So many people applied, and one of these two friends got a manager position. Other was kind of, he has to report to him now. So he was asking me that, Prabhuji, it's a lot of pain to me, that we have been working, and he said few years back I was working for him. He was working for me, and I was his manager, and how time twisted that it's just been 7-8 years, and now I have to report to him. And then he said, but I see it as Krishna's arrangement, because a devotee sees everything from a devotional perspective. And then he started working under him, and whatever this friend would say he would do, and he started supporting him. He started assisting him. The senior management, they noticed that this person, he could not get it. He applied. He had no anxiety in his mind, and he is very dedicatedly serving under and assisting with full enthusiasm, who was serving for him at some point of time in the past. And the senior management, they thought, actually this person is very mature, how he is handling the situation. And they told him that actually we haven't seen, he's a devotee. So they told him, actually we haven't seen a person like you, how you are dealing with the situation, so much maturity, and still you are fully enthusiastic. He said most of the people we have seen in such situation, they leave the job and they go away, but you are dedicatedly assisting and serving for the benefit of the company. This is great. So Actually, and they found out there was another opening, and without any interview, they made him the manager also. And they both are managers now. So I mean, it's a material example, but it's quite relevant how Krishna notices. Same thing, because we are part and parcel of Krishna, so many times we exhibit the same qualities. But same thing. So Krishna also notices, oh, this person, he is, I did not give him the opportunity, and he is in this situation. And so maturely he is assisting, and he is joyfully serving despite the pain is in his heart. And Krishna notices. When Krishna notices that, Krishna will give you the same service, because Krishna is pleased with us. And everything is given by Krishna anyways. So that's what one devotee says, that if we joyfully serve and assist those who are serving, in spite of, you know um, the our unfulfilled desires, Krishna is very pleased. Krishna notices, and Krishna will give us opportunity to serve. Is that all right, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji. Now I can relate some examples to myself. Thank you so much.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Thank you. Okay, anything else? All right, Prabhuji and Mataji, thank you very much for joining. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhaiva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Anantakoti Vaishnavendra ki jai, Srila Prabhupada. Thank you very much, Prabhuji and Mataji, for joining. Dhanavad Pranam, Hare Krishna.
Danvat Pranam. Hare Krishna.
Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Dhanavad Pranam,
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dhanavad Pranam.
Dhanavad
Hare
Pranam.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Dhanavad Pranam.